Hello, hello, friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Immaculate Heart Community's Lunch and Learn series. I'm especially excited about today because I have a new friend, Pam, who will be speaking. And it's just a beautiful reminder about how people that you know can introduce you to other people that you know. So through my new friend Justin, I got to meet Pam, and it's just an encouragement that when you meet somebody who you think might benefit from the Immaculate Heart community, please send them to us. Tell them about our program, send them to our website. We have tons of activities. I'm going to go through a few, but I also wanted to introduce Ellie, which Ellie is somewhere. There she is at that table. She has signups for our Friends of the Heart. And really, everybody here should be a friend of the heart. It doesn't cost anything, and it really shows an affiliation with our work. You get special invitations to our programs. You'll get invited to do volunteer activities, either on your own or with a group. It's a really great way to feel like you're part of something. And so, again, see Ellie to find out more about the Immaculate Heart, Friends of the Heart. Do have a little newsletter besides this form. We have a little newsletter that's in the back. Actually, check out the back table. Both ARC and the Immaculate Heart community has tons of activities and things and swag, so you can get some goodies. But we're really busy. It's June, and I've got to say, I think we have 5 or 6 activities in June. We have a busy July, really busy August. And actually, as the calendar progresses, I see how impactful the programs are and how varied. So you might not be interested in doing a beach cleanup, but you might want to join Bishop Dylan and the work he does at MacArthur Park, or go help out at a dinner that we're doing. Really, there's tons of volunteer activities, and you're going to see and hear a lot more as Ellie has just started, but we're doing more, and we'd love for you and the people on Zoom to join in. Just quickly, our next Lunch and Learn in Santa Barbara, it sounds far to some people, which you're welcome to come and join. You could go to our website and join by person, or I would say almost all of our activities, not 100%, but probably 95 are online. So if you can't join us up in person, then join online. We have a very interesting speaker from CASA, which is an organization that is a court-appointed specialist. They go with kids, they accompany kids to court. The next event after that is June 28th at the E-Bell. How many people have seen Rebel Hearts? Awesome. Well, this is going to be a way that you could see it on the big screen at the E-Bell. And we have a panel discussion afterwards. Our own Rosa, Lenore, and then one of the filmmakers, the producer, will be there to be in a panel discussion. So it's kind of exciting. We have flyers in the back, and you can sign up for that. And no charge. For those who can't go, we also have little cards. You can find out ways to watch it from your own home, so you don't have to wait for it to be on a big screen. But that's easy. And then I just want to mention the next Lunch and Learn here is going to be Clue. So I'm sure many of you are involved with Clue already. There are partners in doing activism through a spiritual lens. Some of you go to their Godmothers of the Disappeared on every week. I know Bishop Dylan's there. Many of us go when we can. But they do a lot of other stuff. They do work for the immigrant community, but also for any low-income wage earner. And they just had a huge success with the SoFi employees. The minimum that the SoFi employees are going to get is between $30 and $35 an hour for their work. So that's the Ada Clue. And we support their efforts. And so there's lots of information in the back. We do have an event. Our annual event is coming up on August 30th. So you'll get more information soon, but if you've got your calendar and you want to do a save the date, then please do that. So I wanted to introduce Sherry, our PEO. She will tell you a little bit about Immaculate Heart and also help center us in a prayer.
Thank you, Pam. Pam keeps us busy. So welcome everybody to Lunch and Learn. It's always wonderful to see many familiar faces who've kind of become our groupies over the last few years. And we always welcome new people, and it's a joy to have new people with us today. So we've started a practice of doing I'm going to just put this down for a minute. Remember to put it back up there. We've started beginning our Lunch and Learn Friday with a Power Up practice. And I think, do we have some of these in the back, the Power Up bookmarks? So what we do is just take a moment. It's a kind of a prayer. It's a ritual that we do to power up our hearts with love and send it out. And this world, this community, people in this room need to be surrounded with some love. So if you will join me at this point and, probably feet on the ground, you might want to put your hand over your heart. Close your eyes if you want to. And just breathe really deeply into your heart and power it up with love. And then breathe out that love across Los Angeles, across our communities here locally. We've been struggling for over a year now with ICE and all kinds of disruption to our life as we knew it. And people are living in fear. So let's send out that love and surround them with it from this place. And next, breathe into your heart and power it up, and send that love out across the United States. Again, we're struggling to redefine ourselves, find out who we are, and we want to contribute that energy of love to our country. Once again, breathe in, power up your heart, power it up strongly with love, and send that love out around the world to all the places in the world that are suffering, in pain, in fear, and our Mother Earth, who is also suffering right along with us. And one more time, breathe into your heart, power it up, and let's circulate that energy in this room. We all have things, don't we? We're dealing with individually and communally, and we need to feel each other's love and compassion today. And with that I say, I let it be, and so it is. Amen. So, I have to do a little infomercial for anybody who's never been with us before. The Immaculate Heart community, you can tell from our name that we were an original order of nuns, Catholic nuns that started in Spain in the 1840s, who came to this country in the 1870s, and we continued to be a canonical order of women until the 1970s here in Los Angeles, when there was a challenge from the local cardinal, and as the women in that order kind of asserted their rights to be a little more independent and more progressive, the community was formed out of that transition, out of that resistance in the 1970s by a very powerful group of women. Some of the nuns stayed with the archdiocese, but about 500 of them formed the community that we are today. And we're no longer nuns. We don't live in convents. We live in our own homes. We live in this country. We live in Canada. We live in England. We're inclusive, men, women, gay, straight. But we join together to put our faith into action and to practice our faith. So that's who we are today, in case you didn't know. Please check out our website, and as Pam said, check out our Friends of the Heart. Doesn't cost anything, and it'll keep you involved with us, so thank you. This Lunch and Learn series started here in LA 3 years ago. We expanded up to our property up in Santa Barbara, so as Pam said, we've got 2 Lunch and Learns every month. And it gives us an opportunity to live out our goal statement, which calls us to hold reverence for all of creation and build relations in society, which foster access for all persons to truth, dignity, and full human development, and to strategically change practices and situations which impede such access. I love saying that every time because that's really who we are. And we think that one way to do that, to build those relationships, is to bring like-minded people like you together. And we get to showcase the heroes and sheroes in our nonprofit world who are doing the work that we support. If you've been here before, you know the drill. We try to do 3 things. We educate ourselves on whatever the topic is today. We ask you to pray in your own faith tradition for what you're hearing about. And then we ask you to act. So today we're welcoming Pamela Thompson-Bell from ARC, the Anti-Recidivism, I did that right? I even practiced it, okay. Coalition. And so as you listen to Pamela, please consider how her message is impacting you and how you might be able to get involved. So now it's my pleasure to introduce her. And I have to tell you, I was sitting in my office reading her bio a little earlier, and I am so impressed. And I'm so grateful that you're here with us today. And I'm really pleased to read this to you. Pamela Thompson-Bell is the Associate Director of Member Services for ARC. Her life is a powerful testament to resilience, transformation, and purpose. After serving 24 years in prison, she emerged with a deep commitment to personal growth and to creating pathways of opportunities for others impacted by the criminal legal system. Drawing from her lived experience, Pamela brings a profound understanding of the challenges individuals face during reentry. Her journey fuels her passion for supporting system-impacted individuals as they rebuild their lives, navigate barriers, and move toward stability, healing, and long-term success. As Associate Director, Pamela provides strategic leadership and oversight of reentry-focused programming, ensuring services are trauma-informed, responsive, and rooted in dignity and equity. She leads and supports teams responsible for guiding participants through critical stages of reintegration, while strengthening systems that address housing stability, employment pathways, access to essential resources, and long-term self-sufficiency. Pamela's leadership is grounded in authenticity and lived experience, allowing her to bridge policy, practice, and compassion. Her work continues to inspire hope and demonstrates what is possible when resilience, accountability, and purpose-driven leadership come together to create lasting community impact. Pamela Thompson-Bell was appointed to the Civil Brand Commission by the Honorable Supervisor Hilda L. Solis just recently on March 17th, 2026. Congratulations, Pamela. So we're really happy to have you with us today. So please join me in welcoming Pamela Thompson-Bell.
Wow. Just hearing that, it's like I'm still profound. I've come a long way from growing up in a household where it was domestic violence. I had two brothers. I'm the baby. Gangs. You know, I grew up in a gang lifestyle. I had a hard life, you know. I got my education when I was incarcerated. And just hearing my bio to this day is like, wow, I did all that, you know, and just coming home. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a long journey, but as you mentioned in my bio, my passion is to help those coming home because I was once in their shoes, so I know the struggle. And I know how navigating the reentry system is. It's kind of hard finding those resources. So with the wonderful life coaches that I oversee, they assist with, you know, finding those resources as well. And I want to introduce one of my life coaches, Tyrone Altman.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the invitation here today. It's an honor and a privilege to be here on behalf of our community, as well as the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. It's a privilege to work under the leadership of Pam, as well as our leadership in totality over at ARC. I am, in fact, a life coach, which is just a fancy name for a caseworker or a case manager. Working with system-impacted men and women who are coming home from various periods of incarceration, assisting them and leading them in reintegrating into society in a successful and a healthy manner. I myself am system-impacted, a total of about 25 years of incarceration and about 3 different stints. I wanted to do something different, however, I didn't know how to do something different. You know, I'm originally from New York City, native New Yorker. I grew up very, very rough. I was introduced to a lifestyle at a young age, and I chose that lifestyle over good guidance and morals that my mom instilled in me. I'm very grateful, right, to my God, right, second and third chances, right, because after my release in 2018, I went to school. I started out in addiction studies. And that started my segue into the field of human services. I work with at-risk adolescents, and approximately a year ago, I had the opportunity to come on board as a life coach at ARC. It's been nothing but a joy. I made a decision that after God gifted me the opportunity of grace and mercy, that I was going to dedicate my life to a life of service, especially to a population of people who are often overlooked and underserved. So once again, it's a privilege and an honor to be here. Thank you.
Okay. So we have a little icebreaker for you guys. And Tyrone is going to tell you 2 lies and 1 truth. And so if you get the truth, we have an ARC t-shirt that we're going to gift you with. And that goes for the people that's on screen as well.
Okay, so 2 lies and 1 truth. 3, 2 lies, 1 truth. 1 is that I played college basketball before I went to prison for the first time. 2 is that I made my first Holy Communion and my confirmation in the Catholic Church. And 3 is that I am a passionate dog lover who owns several rescued pit bulls.
So if
2 lies, 1
and
truth.
1 truth. So if you think you got it, raise your hand. Go ahead. Yes, it's yes. Is the lie? Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see. You want to
I
pick
think that's
anybody
wrong.
else? Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
The first one and the third one.
Okay. Anybody else?
I agree with Bishop Dillon. First two were a lie.
No.
Okay. Did I read them in order? Read them in order? Yeah. So it was 1, 3, and 2 then. My apology.
He said it in the wrong order.
Said it in the wrong order. So 1, 3, and 2. Played college basketball before incarceration. Passionate dog lover who owns several rescued pit bulls. And number 3, made my first Holy Communion and my confirmation in the Catholic Church.
So let's start over. What was yours?
Okay.
Oh,
I'm going to say the truth is that you're a passionate dog lover with multiple rescue pit bulls.
no. Go ahead. It was you back there.
The truth is the communion.
He got it.
You got it. Okay.
So we gonna do one from the Zoom as well. Oh well, excuse me.
Yeah, so although I am a passionate dog lover and I do own one very, very beautiful pit bull, I did play, I was a high school standout in football before I made some horrible choices. But I did, in fact, I was raised in the Catholic Church at my young years in New York City, Mass every Sunday, and I made my first Holy Communion and my confirmation in the Catholic Church.
Wow, I want to know why
I'm
he
good
chose
at
that.
it.
That was a good one. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna segue into our mission statement.
Okay, so the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, better known as ARC, works to end mass incarceration in California to ensure our communities are safe, healthy, and whole. ARC empowers formerly and currently incarcerated people to thrive by providing a support network of comprehensive reentry services and opportunities to advocate for policy change. Through our grassroots policy advocacy, we are dedicated to transforming the criminal justice system so that it is more just and equitable for all people.
Okay, so these are our 5 pillars. When the Hope and Redemption team came inside and they told us everything about ARC, I was like, wow, if I ever get out, I'm going. They talked about housing, they talked about job opportunities, they talked about all these things, right? And so, like I said, I had a 33 to life sentence, not knowing when I was ever coming home. Nothing applied for me. I was a 3-striker. So I didn't have a lot of hope, but at the same time, I was like, okay, if I ever do get out, I'm going to ARC. 2018, I believe it was, I don't know what governor it was. I can't remember right now. But he left a directive to all prisons to find people that qualify for a bill called 1170 D1. And by this time, I had, transformed my whole life. I'm doing groups. I'm facilitating groups. And so one of the staff sponsors, she worked in records and didn't know what that bill was, but she threw my name in the bucket. Well, lo and behold, they picked my name out that bucket and started interviewing my housing staff, the counselor, anybody that had direct contact with me, they interviewed them because it could say one thing on person, but they wanted to hear directly from individuals that had a direct impact in my life. So they wrote some wonderful things for me. Anyway, so I came home, I joined ARC, and these are the 5 pillars that we had to go by. And so I was like, oh, this is easy, because gangs wasn't an option for me anymore. That was out. Being crime-free, I wasn't going back to prison. When I came home, I wouldn't even jaywalk. People thought I was crazy because I'm going to the light, and I'm waiting. Drug-free, I don't know what they putting in this stuff. I left that alone in prison. And being of service to the community, that's what I'm doing standing up here today. And at my current employment, is being of service and working, and in it, I'm getting my education currently, so I'm doing both of those.
Okay, so where it all started. In 2003, our founder, Mr. Scott Budnick, was working in Hollywood as a film producer, known for such successful films as the Hangover series.
How many of y'all heard that?
Okay, Just Mercy, Project X, and War Dogs. Mr. Budnick attending a writing workshop at Juvenile Hall with the agency called Inside Out Writers, where he sat with incarcerated youth, some as young as the age of 15, who were facing adult prison sentences. Through their writings, he discovered stories of trauma, violence, neglect, and difficult choices. So during his visit to Juvenile Hall, Mr. Budnick was deeply troubled by the way youth were tried as adults and treated. This experience sparked his passion for justice, leading to the eventual founding of ARC in 2013.
Man, I'm so thankful for that, because, we wouldn't even be standing up here with employment. So, life coaching. When members come home, they actually start the process inside. So we have, I'm going to talk about that later on too, but they start the process inside with going through our reentry groups inside. And so when they come home, they go through membership. They sign up online, and once they complete the things that, for membership, they'll be matched with a life coach. And here we have an office in Los Angeles, and then we have a office in Sacramento as well. And we currently just opened one up in San Bernardino, but that's with our Second Chance apprenticeship program. And so these are some of the areas that we focus on, but it's not limited to this, but their education, emotional wellness, employment, housing, mentorship, reentry support, and resource referrals.
Okay, like Pam expressed, we're like a tree with many different branches. We believe, like the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. So one of our departments is called the HEART Team, which stands for the Hope and Redemption Team. They provide in-reach services to those incarcerated. They also teach board preparation readiness. They facilitate emotional intelligence, Criminal Gang Members Anonymous. They have a program called YOP, which is known as the Youth Offender Program. In-reach newsletters, and we are located currently in every adult male and female California institution.
Yes. So this is the team that I was talking about that came inside and was telling us everything about ARC once I came home. So we have women's programming. This is some of our women that had attended our annual retreat. Our women's program was started in 2019. A lot of women face barriers coming home with childcare, domestic violence. They experience a lot. And so some women are in there because they either took a case for their partner or whatever the case may be. But coming home, women, they face a lot of barriers because there's not a lot of support out here for women. Like all the housing, stop funding housing are for men. And I'm like, really? They have, I believe, only one housing for women that isn't it's stop funded, and that's ARC housing, but we have only 8 beds for women. So we have, like, with our women's programming, we have different support groups. We try to do like outings every month to build that support for women so they can feel like they belong in a male-dominated world. And so in 2021, we had a Free World podcast where we can go on there. It was women-led, and they would go on there and, just share their struggles of coming home with trying to have family reunification with their kids, their family. Because if they've been gone for like 20 plus years, they family don't know us, or our family don't know us, and we don't know our family. So building that support with one another is very crucial and vital. I can say when I came home after 24 years and I was in transitional house, and I didn't understand why I felt lonely. Like, I would just sit there and I'm like, why do I feel lonely? And then it clicked on me. I just left a family my real family that supported me during those 24 years. And coming home, as I mentioned, my family don't know who I am, and I don't know them. And so that's where that loneliness came in at. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have nobody contact information. And when I started building that and got a phone, then I started feeling like whole again and was able to reach back inside to my family and make that connection.
A brief look inside. Okay, so we have multiple, like I said, we have multiple branches to our agency. One of our very successful programs in Ventura County is the Ventura Training Center. The mission is to train and develop participants in careers in firefighting, providing emergency response and resource conservation while enhancing rehabilitative efforts in the state of California. These individuals that participate in this program are paid a monthly stipend of $2,814 plus emergency excess pay while fighting fires. They're given medical insurance benefits as well. They also attend self-help meetings. They receive one-on-one counseling, behavioral services, life skill workshops, money and time management, discharge support, computer literacy classes, tattoo removal education opportunities that allow them to obtain their high school diploma and college courses. And I must say, I recently went up to Ventura County to tour the facility and do a resource fair with these individuals. And what I encountered was young men that pretty much completely transformed their lives. These guys were ex-offenders who at one time were written off and now are gainfully employed throughout the state of California as firefighters, making a great living for their families, buying homes and things of that nature right there. So it was an awesome experience, it was.
Well, I want to add that we also have LACTC, which is a women's fighter fire program. I just said this is a male-dominated world, and he just left the women out.
And they are just as intense as the guys, believe me,
Right.
if not more.
And then we have our ARC housing. So this PowerPoint, I should have updated because we no longer have Magnolia House. That was for our transitional age youth from 18 to 26. But we have Lorena House, which is 3 units and 3 units. So you have the front, you have the middle that are men, and then you have the back unit, which is for women, and we only currently have 8 beds. Hopefully, we can get, more funding and open up another house that'll be so we can have more women in it. And then they open up another transitional age youth, which is called the Catalina House, and that is in Burbank. They live here totally free. They do, it is guidelines that they, attend our support groups inside. They are, if they're working, they give the house manager 50% of their earnings, but they're also learning financial literacy to be able to manage that money, right? So whenever they're, currently when they move out, they get all their money back, what they put in, so they can, put on a deposit. If they have somewhere else to go, then have that. They get all that money back. And they also give them, they feed them, they give them, I believe, $50 gas if they have a car. They support them through the way, so I think that our housing is a good opportunity for them.
Okay, our clinical and wellness department. ARC members are eligible for free therapy both in person and virtually. ARC offers individual couples, family, and group therapy. 10 sessions are provided for members with a possible extension. That criteria has changed and it's broadened because the need for mental health assistance and services is definitely something we identified as continuing to grow. Inside program begins your transformation and healing journey. Therapy is outside program and allows your transformed and healed self to flourish despite the challenges of reentry. So I must say this is something that's very personal for me. Immediately after here, I will be leaving to go to the LA County Mental Health Courthouse for an event. And the reason why I say it's very personal is because I do in fact have 2 significant mental health diagnoses that I'm no longer stigmatized to be ashamed of 2 years before I came home, I was diagnosed with severe PTSD, and I'm also bipolar. So what I learned was that there's things I need to do to practice self-care. When I came home, I wasn't able to interact with my family and my children the way I am able to do today. And I'm just a strong, outspoken advocate on that, because what I realize is that hurt people, right? And we must give individuals such as myself and others, right, the platform to heal, so we can heal instead of hurt. So,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Tyrone. I also want to add, hurt people. That's how I landed in prison. I didn't realize the trauma that was deeply embedded in me, family dynamics, seeing it in the household, and I thought that was how life was. We get hurt, you go and inflict it on somebody else. Now today, it's reversed. Heal people, right? And so that's what I live by. My healing started inside, and those coming home, I want to make sure that they heal. When we do our one-on-ones with our members coming home, that's something that we ask. We hear, we listen, we be intentional to what they're saying. And if we catch something, of course, we're going to be like, oh, well, would you like to speak to one of our therapists here, And sometimes they shine upon that, like what goes, some of us grew up, what goes in the household stays in the household, right? Nah. Nope. You got to talk about things. Because if you don't, it's just going to stay bedded inside of you until that one day you're going to hit that breaking point. And you're going to explode on the wrong person. Don't have nothing to do with what you're going through or what made you feel the way that you feel that caused you to either cause somebody else harm or inflict some type of verbal harm on somebody.
and if I can, just real quick, so every time I sit down and I do an intake with a member, we always give them the option for clinical therapy. And my experience is almost every single time there's resistance, right, due to that stigma. And every time they agree to just an initial assessment, almost every single one of the members remain in clinical therapy ongoing. And you can just see the healing and the transformation in the individual that they become and they are. It's amazing.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. I'm not ashamed that I took therapy too. Oh, here we go. Our monthly member event. So this is SAC and LA combined together. So as I mentioned, every month we have a monthly gathering, whether if it's at a park, a beach, a museum. I think Ty and his co-facilitator took some of their group members to, where y'all went?
To the LA Science Center. So we just do things, different to expose our members. Some of our members come home after 30 years of incarceration, don't know how to work a cell phone. So I created a toxic masculinity curriculum as well as a therapeutic and creative writing group. And so we took them to the LA Science Center. And it was funny because there's all these school-age kids on these field trips, right? But we were the biggest kids in the LA Science Center. They have a fun zone where you rock climb. It was incredible just to see, these men and women embrace their inner child. It was amazing.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's just one of the things we did.
So we recently had last month we combined member services with our clinical team, and they had a paint and sip. It wasn't the kind of paint and sip that you think. We had some apple cider, some water, some orange juice. We had those things and the canvases. And so the theme was to paint what makes you happy. What did that look like? Miss Chi-Chi and Yolanda painted they did some really good paintings. And then what that would look like in color. So make it colorful, and it was very interesting to see the different paintings that we had. But we also have, like, for Thanksgiving, we have a Thanksgiving dinner where you can invite your family and friends to come and break bread with either the life coaches, the ARC staff, and whatnot.
Okay, ARC retreats. So every year we have an annual retreat. They consist of different things. I'm not sure of the name of the facility we had this year's retreat at, but nonetheless,
Canyon Creek.
Canyon Creek. Zip lining. I can't even tell you the events they come up with over there. I wasn't able to attend, unfortunately. Chess, karaoke, you name it. How long? 3 days?
Bingo.
Bingo.
Yep, it's for 3 days.
Campfires, marshmallows, the whole thing, you know. It was amazing. And then also we have every year annually, we have a whitewater river rafting event. You know, and once again, a lot of us are inner city kids, you know, or we grew up as inner city children. A lot of us don't know what it's like to go out and be exposed to the natural elements. And that whitewater river rafting is like, you're literally out there. And I'm going to leave out the details, but like you're out there on the land, you know. But once again, the bonding that takes place over the course of 3 days, they have 3 different trails. They have, of course, the novice and beginner one. Then they have the little one that's a little more intense. And then they have this one, from my understanding, that the founder, Scott Budnick, who's very much involved, right, in the process, it's just helmets, life preservers, because there's no telling, you know, how that ride is going to end up. But once again, when the members return after the retreats, it's just amazing to see the experience and the joys and the things like that they get. Because we're about community, right? In addition to the services we provide, the mental health, right? The psychoeducational groups, community, giving our members a safe place and space to come and be around like-minded individuals, right? Who true enough made mistakes, right? Who have held ourselves accountable, right? But who have dedicated ourselves to proactive change as well.
So workforce and education, we have a second chance apprenticeship program, and we have different partnerships with different colleges. Well, it's no guarantee that we can, place somebody in a job, but it's up to that individual of what, how far they want to go with their education and workforce. So these are some of our graduates. They either got their high school diploma, they did soft skills. We have a career readiness program where that's for 4 days out of a week, where they can learn how to write their resumes. They can learn how to do mock interviews in front of somebody. So these are individuals that never had a job before, and they will sit in front of a person acting as an employer and, build their confidence up with being able how to interview. Not have your arms on the table, not going there chewing gum, not going in there with your pants sagging, different etiquette of interviewing for jobs. That's what they teach them.
Absolutely. Our second chance apprenticeship program, this is one of our most popular ones. We do have a campus in San Bernardino, which we are in the process of reopening. But our biggest one is in LATT, Los Angeles Trade Tech College. It's an 11-week cohort program that prepares our members for trades in building and construction. It consists of 8-hour days, Monday through Friday. Our members receive a stipend every 2 weeks, and the certificates obtained are MC3, OSHA 10, CPR, and first aid. A lot of these members go on to become sponsored as well as union members. Very, very prosperous careers. It's not an easy program. We vet very seriously. There's a criteria for you to enter this program, and then it's very intense. Not only the skills training, but they have physical training every morning. Every Friday, like today, they hike. They went up to the Hollywood sign. They're up at 4:30, 5 a.m. There's always usually a starting number that dissipates to who completes and graduates the program. It truly separates those who are serious from those who are not as serious. So.
Yeah, I hear someone be like, the hikes at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
they complain, and I'll be like, this is discipline. This gonna, once you complete it, you complaining now, but it's preparing you for the job world. Because you're gonna have to get up early in the morning to go to work. So now is the discipline. So if you follow through, you're gonna be successful in where you land at. They be like, yeah, but I don't want to hear that right now. So we have a policy department. These are some of our lovely policy people. Justin might be in here somewhere. This is the old PowerPoint. So they're actually at the Capitol. And these are some of, I know you probably can't see it, but these are some of the bills that ARC have written and helped pass. The biggest one is, I think this was actually your slide, but it's 260 and 261, where, because ARC was formed and built on policy reform. So SB 260 is, it allows people who were tried as adults for offenses they committed under the age of 18 to be eligible for the youth offender parole hearing. And then SB 260, it made it to where those that are age 23 could apply for parole. But Prop 17 is where people that was on parole or probation was able to vote. That one was a big one for me because I was out there like, hey, vote for this, but the men and women coming home, they don't know that they can vote. And so when I let them know, they be like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, you can vote. So come on, let's vote. So we get them.
And I just want to say too, like
up.
in today's, we are aware we're living in a very volatile political, culture. I didn't know nothing about the political process. I didn't think my voice counted. But the first year after coming home and actually casting a ballot was very, very empowering to me. And then I just want to say those first two bills that Pam talked about were just a few of the ones that are very instrumental because for a long time, the California Department of Corrections resisted scientific and psychological proof that the human brain is not fully developed until the age of 25. That's without trauma. That's without drug and alcohol use, right? So you have young men and women at 16 and 17, right, making permanent decisions on temporary emotions and receiving these pretty stiff, significant penalties. So this gave them the opportunity, right, to go back to court, right, to have these sentences looked at and mitigated to see if they were eligible to come home and have another second chance. So.
Yes. And then this is our Ride Home program.
You see her?
This is our Ride Home program where individuals inside can fill out an application and send it to our Ride Home program coordinator. And so they would see if they are eligible, if they don't have any write-ups within 5 years. But the whole goal is because some people don't have family to come and pick them up, you get released with $200. By the time you use that just getting home, right? But the Ride Home program affords you, we pick them up, we take them to get their first meal wherever they want to eat at. If it's the Sizzlers, it's Roadhouse, Steak Roadhouse, wherever they want to eat, they feel like eating, we provide that. A lot of them never had Starbucks before. We'll take them to Starbucks, get their first cup of coffee. Then we take them shopping. So if they can get a little throwaway phone or buy one from Walmart, get a phone plan, and then we take them we'll take them to go see their family or straight to the program. If they don't have no family, then they go straight to the program. The young lady that you see me on the screen with, I picked her up. A lot of people didn't know that I had came home. So, because I had went out to court and never went back, so that they didn't know where I was. Coming back and picking these individuals up and seeing the look on their face, the excitement, because they didn't know I was home, it brought me so much joy to do this. And so, yeah, that's our Ride Home program.
Okay. And I just wanted to add, too, like one of the things California Department of Corrections has strategically done over years is they place these institutions in the areas that are very desolate to make it very difficult for your family members to travel to. And then when they do, they make it very, very difficult for them to enter the facility. It's a lightweight harassment. It discourages them, and it disrupts the family bonding cycle. I've seen multiple ride homes. I haven't participated in one myself. I saw an older gentleman. Had he remained incarcerated, he might have died in custody. He was well up in age. He was given a ride home. And when he arrived to Los Angeles, about, I would say, 30 of his family members were outside his home. Generations, grandkids and great-grandkids. And I almost get emotional just thinking about it right now, because for all these years, he had missed all of this. And it was one of the most powerful, one of the most beautiful things that I got to experience. So, awesome.
I want to add, too, that I was a recipient of the Ride Home program. Carlos Cervantes was the one that picked me up, and he is currently now my supervisor. So these are, oh, this is yours.
So basically, we live in a modern world, right? I'm not a big tech guy, right? My daughter just turned 20 yesterday, right? I get a lot of heat from her asking her questions and how to do things on my phone. She's like, it's like this, right? So, and then I was told, I got Facebook, right? She's like, Facebook is for old people, right? I'm like, excuse you, you know what I'm saying? Show some respect, right? But we do, you know, to bridge the gap, because one of the things we want to do at ARC is we don't just want to do our work, right? But we want to put faces and stories with the work. So we have a very visible social media presence, right? We want our donors, right? We want our contract, you know, supporters to see what it is, the human impact, right, of what we're doing. You know, we want to show them the smiles of people coming home on the ride home. We want to show them testimonies, right, that you'll see on our websites of Pam, of where she started, and how it's just like a chain of events. Like she said, our program director, Carlos, is the one that brought her home on our ride home. And now they are both my direct supervisors, you know. So to work in that type of environment, even our administrative leadership, I would say, 85 to 90% of our staff is system impacted. So even if they don't appear to be, because some of them have cleaned up well and they're very refined, you know, but trust, you're in an environment where people understand what you have been through, are going through, and at the end of the day, those who matter don't judge, and those who judge do not matter. So,
Thank you.
so these are our various social media platforms. Feel free at any time to log on, send a request. There's different ways to become, you know, members or to get access to these different websites.
You can also find our Free World podcast on Spotify. It's called the Free World Podcast, and I'm featured on quite a few of those. And this is our QR code. So let me skip to the next one. So we have a program to Your Mom Get Home, and what this program is individuals, women inside, will apply. If they qualify, we accept 2 of their kids from the age of 6 to 18. And so the whole goal of this is to attend to the kids and, you know, support the kids until the mom come home, right? And so because they have caregivers, the caregivers are, you know, pretty much up in age, and so they need a little assistance. So we'll support with birthdays, Christmas, quinceañeras. Did I say that right?
Yeah, good enough.
Proms, if they have any sports events. We have a group of volunteers that will go and support the kids for that. And so what this QR code is if you donate, we're asking for support to be able to, also we want to do 4 visits to take the kids to see the mothers at least 4 times out of the year. And so we need, you know, funding for that. So we have actually a barbecue coming up in July, and we're going to invite the caregivers and the kids to come to the barbecue. But while the kids is at the barbecue, we want to send the caregivers on a spa day to get a massage, because I'm sure they need it, right? While we at the park with kids. And then let's see. And then you have QR codes all around the table. We have some in the back. And this ends our presentation. So we're open for questions.
So just really quick, I want to thank everybody here, Immaculate Heart, everybody here today for inviting us out. I want to thank my supervisor, Pam, for inviting me to come support her and be a part of her journey, our journey. Unfortunately, I have to leave. I have to be at the LA County Mental Health Courthouse for another event. But it's been an honor and a privilege. And I hope that we continue to do this work in service of our community out of love and out of reverence for our God and our Savior.
Thank
Right?
you. So, do we have any questions? Go ahead. For Ty? Oh. Get some water.
So I work with a lot of unhoused individuals, people that are not in active recovery, and I would say that I've not yet met somebody who's not been system impacted. So the unfortunate part of working with this population is I don't get to see the same people over and over again. If I had to talk to a person that I knew I was never going to see again on Skid Row, in MacArthur Park, Olvera Street, wherever, what's the one thing that you would say to them to encourage them to kind of get up and fly right?
Well, I know of one, we encounter individuals like that all the time. We can support them, give them the knowledge, the resources, but it's up to that individual if they're going to accept it or not. We have volunteers that go to Skid Row. Some of them want to remain on the streets, because they don't want no responsibility. So I say it all the time, we can lead people to the water, but we can't force them to drink it, But we let them know that the resources are there, and if you want the help, it's there for you. Go ahead, Rob.
I was told, and I don't know if this is true.
Okay.
I was told that there's this horrible thing where when people get out of prison, they have these court payments that they have to come up with every month,
Restitution.
which sounds insane because you get there and you can't get a job and you have to come up with this money or you go back to prison. Yeah. Well, of course you're going to steal and deal drugs, or you're going to do whatever you can not to get out of that. That's it. So that is still going on.
Yeah, I believe that I had seen somewhere where somebody was trying to write a bill about that because people have like $10,000s in restitution. And what they want individuals to do is to make payments on it, whatever you can afford to get that down. But I think after so long, then they'll what do you call it? Yeah, waive it.
Okay,
but they do want you to at least make an initiative to start making payments on it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
Hi, I think the community that you're building is great, and I think it's really good for folks. I'm just curious, bearing in mind that I get all my education from watching Law and Order, do you guys get any pushback from having people getting out of prison, hanging out with people that just got out of prison? I mean, I know, is that still a thing, or is that not a?
It just depends on who the parole officer is, but with the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, a lot of judges, a lot of parole officers know about us, so I don't think they pretty much go to that extent to try and violate them if they come down to our office because they're doing things to better themselves,
That's great. This is really cool. What you're
That's why it's reentry. Right. I think they will be the barriers for them.
So I need some professional advice, and I think you might help me. I have a friend, very dear friend, gray-haired, recently became unhoused, sleeping out of her car now for 2 months, and a widow, but now she has a partner who helps her out because she's disabled, has a hard time getting around. Her partner has a record. I mean, he's not in jail or anything. He's been out. And what he was convicted of was child molestation. And she doesn't want to get housed without him. What is open? What can she go to? What can they go to where they're not going to be told, no, we don't have room for you here because there are children nearby?
Right. That's been a barrier for so long. And I wish I had the answer to that. We're still currently because we have individuals that come home and they have that conviction on them, and so they need to be housed. It's like, I think I ran across but it's a transitional house for that it will accept 290s, but she wouldn't be able to go. So that's a big barrier for a lot of individuals. And I wish I had the answer to that, but I don't. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Any more questions? But I will take your information, Rosa. I'll take your information just in case I do come up with something, then I can let you know. Yes, absolutely. Well, if I don't have no more questions, I appreciate. Do we have anybody on Zoom? Oh.
I just want to say thank you, Pam, for sharing. And you guys are really good and gave me a lot of things to think about. I'm going to steal one of your things, or was it his? Hurt brings hurt. That was like profound.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but thank you.
Thank you. You all's been a great audience. If you didn't notice, I was nervous.
Questions online. Do we have any questions on Zoom? If you'd like to ask, go ahead and unmute yourself. Don't be shy.
Hi, thank you for this. Is it just for LA County, or is it for LA County?
Well, we have an office in Sacramento as well. But, yeah, all over Los Angeles County.
So NorCal and SoCal?
Yes.
Wow, okay, wonderful. No.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much for your presentation. You did wonderful. Aside from following the QR codes, linking up on social media, what concrete actions can we take to support ARC's work?
Well, outside, well, that's the main one right there. But yeah, we don't have like no volunteer things right now, but if you do want to volunteer, you can let me know, and then we can see like what opportunities are out there and get you guys going. All right. I used to think silence was a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing, Pam. I think we're a little bit, a lot in awe
Aww.
of what you're doing. I think you touched my heart, and we're all about hearts in the Immaculate Heart community. The Ride Home program. I've heard so many stories about people just being left out in the middle of the desert in the middle of the night, and they have to find their way home. And oh, by the way, here's $200, or
Right.
that, and connecting moms with their kids. I mean, everything that you talked about. I have a little tears in my eyes because it really shows you're bringing humanity back into the lives of these people who have been isolated and they're facing a world that they don't know anymore. Yeah. So bless you for your work. This is a little bit of something from the Immaculate Heart community.
Thank you.
And let's give her a big hand of applause. Wonderful, wonderful work.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, so come back and see us next month, or see you in Santa Barbara next week, Pam? Is it next week, I think? Anyway, thank you. Thanks for coming. There's more food. Take some food.
Wait, before everybody goes, I did forget. Sunday is Pride. The Immaculate Heart will have a booth on Hollywood Boulevard near the Shake Shack. So come check out our booth. We'll have photos and giveaways and be part of the community of friends and allies and queer folk. It'll be great to participate and hope to see you there.